Hello, welcome to Global Eye. I'm Parikshit Luthra, and today we turn our attention to one of the White House most recent guests, Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. US President Donald Trump not only welcomed Sharif at the executive mansion, but also praised him just ahead of the meeting. The US leader had kind words for the country's army chief, General Asim Munir, who accompanied the Pakistani Prime Minister. However, President Trump didn't refer to either man by name. He said, and I quote, "We have a great leader coming, the Prime Minister of Pakistan and the Field Marshal. The Field Marshal is a very great guy, and so is the Prime Minister." The talks, which were attended by Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, lasted for 90 minutes. No further details of the meeting were released by the White House, and no press conference was held, unlike after President Trump's meeting with other world leaders. However, the Pakistani government did release photos and videos of Trump seated with Sharif and Munir in the Oval Office. Furthermore, the Pakistani Prime Minister's office released a statement which said that Sharif praised Trump for helping to facilitate a ceasefire with India, a claim that the Indian government has rejected. Pakistan's statement said that both leaders also discussed counter-terrorism cooperation and the possibility of new US investments in Pakistan. So is this meeting just optics, or is it a strategic pivot? And what does this mean for India? Joining me right now is Sharat Sabharwal, former Indian ambassador to Pakistan, somebody who has tremendous amount of experience when it comes to India-Pakistan affairs. Ambassador Sabharwal, thank you very much for joining us. What's your reading of this meeting? Do you think it's also unprecedented that the Pakistani army chief was present with the Pakistani Prime Minister during the meeting, and Donald Trump called him a great guy? Asim Munir has already visited the White House twice in the last few months.
Yeah, I think the fact that Prime Minister was accompanied by his army chief is not unprecedented. This has happened in the past. What was unprecedented was Trump's, I think it was a luncheon for Asim Munir some 1 or 2 months ago. This meeting, it seems to me, is part of the new transactional relationship developing between the two countries. It started, as you know, with the business interest of Trump family in crypto business in Pakistan. It then went on to rare earths. Earlier this month, an agreement was signed in Islamabad where an American company agreed to invest $500 million in the mining sector in Pakistan. But the manner in which Asim Munir has been feted in the White House suggests that there is a security component to this new transactional relationship which is developing. Now, what is the exact nature of this?
Ambassador Sabharwal, you said that there is a transactional relationship developing between Pakistan and the US. But is this a strategic pivot, a tilt towards Pakistan?
No, it's a shift in the US stance towards Pakistan. Let me say this, why do I call it a transactional relationship? The two countries never had strategic congruence. They entered into various transactional relationships during the Cold War, thereafter during the Afghan Jihad, the US war against terror, and in each case the two were working together but at cross purposes. Pakistan's aims were different from the aims of the United States. It seems to me that they are entering into a relationship of that kind, but you're right, absolutely, that it is a shift from the posture of the United States towards Pakistan, let's say, for the last decade or so. But if you wish, we can talk of the security component that I believe could be part of this new transactional relationship.
What do you think is Pakistan offering to the United States, and what is making Pakistan's offer so compelling to Donald Trump, according to you, Ambassador Sabharwal?
Well, I mentioned some of those factors earlier, and I was coming to the security component. It's difficult to say the exact nature of the security component that may be involved in this new transactional relationship. But it could be in the context of Iran. It could be in the context of counter-terrorism in Afghanistan, where, as you know, the Taliban are resisting Trump's recent attempts to take back the Bagram air base. The Pakistanis are reaching a breaking point with the Taliban because they believe that they are fanning terrorism within Pakistan. So could the two sides come together to pressurize the Taliban, or could it be in the context of the security architecture in the West Asian region? You would recall that very recently a defense agreement was signed between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan. Now, you might have seen that there has been no reaction. I haven't come across any official reaction from the United States to that agreement. Is it possible that they gave a nod to the signing of this agreement as an attempt to subcontract a part of the responsibility for security in the West Asian region to Pakistan? Now, that would be a strange choice of a partner, but the Americans have made these kind of choices in the past also. So these are the possibilities. Now, things should become clearer in the coming weeks or months. But as you rightly said, the kind of importance that is being given to this relationship now, it couldn't be purely because of cryptocurrency or some possibility of rare earths emerging later on. It may have something to do with some security component.
Right. That's an important point, sir. Whether the Saudi-Pakistan Defense Pact had the blessing of United States or not. But let me also ask you, the Pakistani statement after the meeting said that there were discussions held and Prime Minister Sharif sought US investments in Pakistan's agriculture sector, technology sector, mines, energy. Do you think the conversation was just about this, or was there some sort of larger reason, larger economic reason also why the two leaders met? Was there some offer of supplying critical minerals and giving access to US companies to Pakistan's critical mineral resources?
Yes, these investment in agriculture and education and so on and so forth, these are frills. This is going on for a long time. Some investments come, but not much investment has come in. I think if you talk purely of the economic sphere, Trump has spoken of two things. One is, of course, rare earths. I told you an agreement was signed earlier this month for investment by an American company in rare earths prospection and exploitation later on in Balochistan, possibly in the so-called Gilgit-Baltistan. So that's one. The other, Trump has spoken of oil prospection. Now, there are some reports of offshore oil in Pakistan's economic zone. There has also been talk of shale gas and oil deposits in Pakistan, but there is no well-defined estimate of what they are. So it will need prospection, it will need then exploitation, which is extremely difficult in Pakistan's security environment today. But these are the possibilities that are being talked of on the economic front.
Right. I would also like to ask you, there is no statement from the US side on the meeting as to what transpired, what were the takeaways. The Pakistani side has put out a statement, of course, but why do we know so little about this meeting?
If they made a statement, the United States made a statement, they would have also spoken of those frills that the Pakistanis have spoken of. Trump brought about peace in this region. There'll be investment in education, agriculture, and so on. If, as it seems, they have discussed some other significant things, notably those related to the security field, then they won't put it out in a public statement. And that may be the reason I think the Americans, they haven't released any statement so far. They may do so in the coming day or two, but we haven't seen any statement by them. And these statements coming from the Pakistani sides are also sketchy and, very formal.
That's an important point. Let's see how this relationship develops in the months to come. Thank you very much, Ambassador Sabharwal, for joining us for that very important conversation. It's a meeting that the Ministry of External Affairs has also said that they are watching closely. We're taking a short break, but coming up on the other side, President Trump announces a 100% tariff on patented and branded drugs not manufactured in the US. A special discussion with Jayant Dasgupta, former ambassador at the World Trade Organization, when we return.